Live with Alvin After Dark, brought to you by my boy Ron Chin over at Auto Lease Direct New York at 4219 Merrick Road in Massapequa, New York. Also brought to you by BMW of Freeport. Check out my boys over there at BMW of Freeport at 291 West Sunrise Highway in Freeport, New York. And you can also catch me for all your automotive needs. Once again, what's going on? What's going on? People of the world today, what's going on? How you feeling, man?
Salute, brother.
We got Oscar Ortiz back with us again. He's been hanging out with us for the past few weeks, which is great. We had some changes up in the schedule and things like that. So once again, I want to thank my brother for coming out. Always been here for me. Gave him a phone call the day before. He's like, yo, I'm there. I'm with you. And we're going to talk about it tonight. We're definitely going to talk about it tonight. We got some entertainment news. So I figure what we're going to start doing now is letting you people know about what's going on in the world. LA, I know you got the picture I sent you of Iron Mike Tyson, right? Yeah, put that up real quick, please. So listen up here. Your boy, boxer Iron Mike Tyson almost knocks out his trainer during a training session recently. Mike is definitely showing us he still has it, never lost it, and is ready to go. So that's entertainment news. That's one thing is entertainment news. So what do you the reason why I didn't show the clip because I couldn't not send the clip soon to LA. Also, you got your girl. You want to show it? So you got Halle Berry shows off a little back and backside wearing a sexy bathing suit, letting these young ladies know she still got it. As you say, black don't crack. Now, as well as in military news, we got military news coming up. So we want to talk about this briefly as well. In military news, we have military news. The Army has decided they want to go back. Well, not even decided to go back, but the Army has decided that they're going to a kinder and softer military. Now, for all you folks in the military, you know there's no such thing as kinder or softer. I'm in the military, and I think that's a bunch of bullshit, personally. What do you think about that?
I never knew the military to be kind this sort or America to even incorporate that. But we're changing. This time's changing.
Well,
so they have to adjust.
I don't think. Really, you think so?
I mean, when you look at the military now, you have transgender military soldiers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So they have to change with the times.
Yes.
They have to change with the times.
Yes. Me personally, I don't care for it. Only reason why I don't care for it is because in the military, they got something called shark attack. Now, what shark attack is, in the middle of your basic training, you got some folks doing a shark attack, and what shark attack actually is the drill sergeants get in your face, like in your face, and what they're doing is they're literally like
I never understood that. Why? What's the use of that? What's really the use of that?
It's to keep you. I guess to keep you strong, man. And
intimidated? I mean, I don't know.
Just because you get caught by the enemy, I guess.
Okay.
Kind of like hazing.
Right. Hazing is illegal. Hazing is illegal.
You're a prisoner of war, and you get someone gets in your face like that. At least you're.
Well, that's actually one of the reasons behind it.
Okay, that's one of the reasons behind it.
That's one of the reasons behind it. When you become, that is true. And I didn't think about that, which I do know. When you're a prisoner of war, you want to make sure that you are grounded and you don't break character.
I guess. But the military has to change like everything else. It's.
But I do think being in the military for so long, I think that there's some things that we need to. I think our foundation of being in the military should stay the same.
Right.
I think things
not
like
broke, don't fix.
Exactly, and I think that are we changing for the people that are coming in because of their new way of thinking? To say, hey, this person doesn't want to be yelled at, so.
Yeah, that's what it is, basically.
So I think that we shouldn't do that.
I don't think drill sergeants would do that, though.
Yeah.
I think drill sergeants are going to be drill sergeants. That's what they call drill sergeants.
Exactly, and I think that what's happening is that they actually have timeout cards in the military. So if you feel getting too stressed out, you put your timeout card up. I think that is crazy. They think that's crazy. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. But if you're just tuning in, you're live with Alvin After Dark, and we're going to talk about something very interesting this evening. What are the challenges that teachers, students, I had a brain fart.
Students and teachers are having with this virtual education.
And parents.
And parents, yeah.
That's
parents.
right. And parents with virtual
Parents.
education.
We would like parents to call, teachers to call. What's the
Definitely.
number?
Definitely. 516-945-9550. But I will read some information that people sent me over about. I have a friend who's a teacher, and she did say this. She said, it's challenging, but we have to deal. She said, this is life. This is the life that we are living in. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Getting the students to log on time in the morning is a challenge.
Is
Also,
it because the students don't log on, or the parents are not assisting the students to log on?
and that's something else we're going to talk about too. Getting the students full attention and focus.
Yes, that is a problem. I see that, I have my granddaughter. She's at home, and, she's being homeschooled virtually. And, that focus that she has at school is not the same focus that she has at home.
That's right.
Because we're there, you know what I'm saying? So she gets distracted very easily, If anybody can give us tips on how to keep kids focused
Exactly.
at home versus at school.
Getting the students to use proper Zoom etiquette.
What is this? Is it the students that are? Because the students, she's 6
I'm
years
sorry,
old.
I apologize.
She's
Getting the
6
parents, I'm
years
sorry.
old. I think the parents need the Zoom etiquette.
Yes. I apologize. What's wrong with me today?
Zoom
Getting
etiquette.
the parents to be quiet. No, she didn't say students. Getting the parents to be quiet in the background and stop cursing while their children are during their sessions in
Well, that's Zoom
school.
etiquette.
Yeah.
You have to.
Zoom etiquette.
There's people in pajamas.
Yes.
Parents in pajamas, or I guess nightgowns or whatever they call them.
That's right.
And the kids are, the kids are on the camera. When you walk by, you see what's going on.
I actually sent you a picture, Ellie, of a mother on a Zoom conference, and she's like naked, right? Not that one. Yes, let's look at that picture briefly. So this is a Zoom. This is a Zoom where the parent in the middle is not wearing a shirt, and she's on a Zoom, and you see the son looks like he's a little bit embarrassed. Exactly. So all you parents out there, it's very, very important that you practice, some type of etiquette when you're having these classes with your kids, and you're also paying attention to kids. My sister works in social services for ACS, and she was telling me how one of the parents told one of the other social workers, she says, why do I need to get my son and daughter up for school? That's their responsibility. And mind you, the kids are like, I think the kids are like 11, I think 10 or 11.
Right. I think there's an issue with the younger kids, like grades K to probably 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're still little kids.
That's right.
But when we get to the older, the older kids, maybe the teens or tweens, I mean, they know what to do. They're supposed to know what to do.
That's right.
You can't blame the little kid for being a little kid.
That's right.
So that's when the parental guidance comes in.
Yeah.
But if you're like in high school and you know that your class starts at 9 o'clock or whatever time, you need to get up and you need to, be on time for the class.
Yeah, I don't think more so it's the once again the high school students. I think more so it's responsibility of the parent with the children, the pre-teenagers and things like that. I think that once your child is in 9, 10, 11, and 12th grade, they're at that age where they should be able to sustain themselves as far as getting up on time, logging on to classes, and things like that. It's
Right,
preparing
yeah.
them for life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But those, excuse me, those pre-high school kids need some type of discipline, and they need some type of structure, and they're not getting it. And I think that's a frustration that a lot of these teachers are having.
Right. Oh, we got a call.
You're live with Alvin After Dark. Caller, where you calling from?
Hi, I'm an educator. I work for the city of New York.
Okay.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
So what are your thoughts?
The question is as to whether or not the students are learning
Yes. Are they learning?
virtually. And I would say whether they're in the classroom or not, a lot depends on self-motivation, what they're getting at home or being reinforced at home, whether they're in front of us or not. We know children are resilient regardless of what's placed in front of them. If they have the drive and the guidance, they're going to do it. I will say that I see a lot more focus now, not so much in last year when it first started, because I guess we were figuring it would end soon. But now that this has become more of a norm, they have become more acclimated to it. And because they have actually missed school, they're paying more attention. They're showing up for the classes. We've had a great number as far as attendance is concerned than in the past in traditional school setting.
Okay.
Now, what are your challenges with actual parent? What grade do you teach?
I teach 12th grade.
Oh, okay. So how was it with teaching the kids that are a little bit older?
Well, the advantage we have is they know how important a high school diploma is, and they know how many credits they have, so they can count and know what classes count, and they're motivated to graduate. So sometimes they'll do the bare minimum to make sure that happens, but I've also taught the younger grades. I've taught 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, the younger kids, they don't have the discipline to show up online. A lot of times parents aren't home, or they just don't want to be bothered with shadowing them and making sure they're going on. Or parents are they're invited to the classes to see what's being assigned. They don't have to do the work, but they can check in and see the students are doing the work, that their children are doing the work. Traditionally, they could do the same thing, too. If they have homework, show me your homework. Let me sign your homework.
Do you think there's a problem with, like, parents who don't speak the language, maybe are not computer savvy? You know, what techniques or issues have you encountered with that?
I have had parents where their children have to translate for them.
Right.
They're the go-betweens.
Yeah.
But they also know that their children have work. And even with my mother was born and raised here. By the time I was in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, she couldn't do the math that we were doing, but she knew I had math homework. Show me your math homework. So I have plenty of parents who they're just dedicated and the ones who don't speak the language, who are new to the country, know what an opportunity education is. And they actually are the more involved parents, making sure. And those kids are actually working and contributing to the household. So they're working full-time. They're going to school full-time.
Wow.
So, again, whether they're sitting in front of a computer doing their classes, and for some people it makes it even easier because then they don't have to be in school at a certain time. They can go on and do the work when they have the time, and then they can work outside of the home where it's not flexible. So this has actually turned out to be better for some students because education is more flexible.
Right. Do you think that's going to be the new norm?
And again, if they have the drive, the motivation, the want, they're going to do it regardless of the challenge.
Right. Right. Do you think this is our new norm, or this is just temporary?
I think a lot of new norms have come from it. For instance, we will never have a snow day again.
Right. Right. That's right.
Because if we can't get to school, we can still go online. It's made it more competitive because I'm in a poorer school district, so a lot of our students didn't have computers at home. Now they do.
Right.
So, you can't say, oh, search this or let's do some research now. Well, I can't do it at home. We have a lot of things that we couldn't send home for them to do because they didn't have the resources. Now we know they have the resources.
Right.
So it's more competitive with the counterparts who did have computers at home and so on and so forth and more things. So
what is the Board of Ed doing with the staff, the other staff besides the teachers? Maybe teachers' assistants. That staff is not needed anymore, correct? Because if the kids are at home and the teachers are teaching virtually, teachers' assistants, even custodians, what's going on with them? Are they going to be obsolete at one point, or are they going to be back into the system?
Well, I think custodians more than ever are needed
Right.
because they have to sanitize around the clock. As it stands now, the teachers are in the building. The students aren't there yet.
Oh,
well,
the teachers are in there.
That's
Okay.
not true. The younger grades, the students are in.
Oh, okay.
And especially with the younger kids, they need more sanitizing because they don't know social norms. They pick up things, they put them in their mouth, they don't wear the mask, they share stuff.
Right.
So they're going to need the more. As far as teachers' assistants and paras, you still need them. We still have 3 teachers to a classroom because you have students who have IEPs, so they're entitled to small group instruction and things of that nature. You have students who are early language learners, so they need a teacher to help them to scaffold the material because they need extra steps in order to complete it. So you still do need extra staff. As a matter of fact, more.
More staff,
Because you can't teach a group of 30 online and not be able to offer the one-on-one. But if you split it in 2, it's much easier with 15. So they're short teachers. They're still looking for about 2,000 teachers.
Wow.
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 2,000 teachers needed.
Yeah, there's a shortage because it was said that we would have half a class in front of you if you were teaching in school, half a class online, and I mean there's times that I have 34 students.
Wow.
So you're going to split that up. You need more teachers to make that happen.
That is true. That is
Wow,
true.
wow.
The Board of Ed has its hands full,
It sure does.
right? They have their hands full.
Yeah, there was a shortage even before this came to be.
I was going to ask that same question. Was there a shortage before the pandemic?
There was a shortage before. I mean, we are the highest educated and the lowest paid.
Wow.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So does that
So
mean
it's-
education is not valued in America? As an educated opinion.
Not receiving one. Higher education is valued in America, but not the steps to get there. And we know not everywhere and everyone. No, we don't. If it were true, every student would have the same as every other student
Right.
in any district. They would be taught the same and have all the resources and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So,
And how many
no.
years you been in educator now?
Oh, this is actually my 27th anniversary.
Wow.
Wow.
Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Counting down days to retirement.
Okay. That's
Wow,
always
wow,
a good
wow.
thing. That's always a good thing.
No, absolutely. I love what I do. And I've seen a lot. I taught in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I taught in Glendale. Now I'm in the Rockaways.
Oh, wow. You
And,
definitely, okay, you've been a couple boroughs then. Okay.
Well, all Queens. No, actually Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yeah,
and,
Brooklyn and Queens. You forgot. There's 5 boroughs. You've been in 2.
Yeah.
Just teasing you. Well, thank you for your information and your input and calling in. We appreciate
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. You take care now, guys.
All right,
you.
thanks. We read a
Bye-bye.
couple comments right here.
I see you, Eric. I see you. We have here Stephanie Hidalgo. Remote learning is difficult for parents who work from home and have to juggle to help their children with remote learning. I have a 5-year-old granddaughter who attends first grade in a charter school, which is more advanced. I feel a bit overwhelmed and a lot of times, but choose my granddaughter's safety over health. That is very important. That's right. Tina Brown is watching. Younger children have a difficult and short attention span. But we were talking
We
about.
spoke about that earlier.
Talking about. Can anybody give us maybe some feedback on that?
Yeah,
Any
definitely give us some
teachers?
feedback.
Any
516-945-9099. Virtual education, the new norm during the coronavirus pandemic. As it says here, as the rapid spread of the coronavirus continues, schools across the country have been forced to close their doors. With about 57 million kids enrolled in kindergarten through high school, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. The closures during COVID-19 pandemic have led to many school systems to find innovative ways to teach their students. One of the primary ways of being done through virtual or online education. All right, so here we're going to read out some stuff to you, and it's here are 10 ways you can help students adjust to online learning and finish the school year successfully. What's number one?
Discuss rules and expectations. From the get-go, establish rules for how school week should go. You want to have a set schedule that allows some flexibility. And I think that's the ground rule. You have to set those rules because the kids are at home, so they see their toys.
That's right.
Their toys are there. They're not at their, desk.
That's right. They're
Not at their desk, which they, some kids have their own desk.
That's right.
I've seen online people selling desks, custom-made desks for kids.
That's
and
cool.
Find out, what are their likes, and they customize these desks for the kids. I think that's an excellent idea.
All right.
That's an excellent idea.
Number two, it says get back into the routine. While you may not need to wake up or have your children wake up at 5 a.m. to catch the bus, you also don't want them sleeping the day away either. Don't let your kid lounge in their pajamas all day. Instead, try to begin the day early. Have them get up and get dressed just like when school was actually in session. Also, have your child go to bed at a decent time.
Definitely.
Just as they should normally on a school night, so that child can get a good to 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Remember, kids are used to a lot of structure during the academic day, and even though they may fight that structure, most kids thrive with it. Structure helps kids who know what to expect, and it provides consistency, something kids need in their lives right now. Providing this sense of normalcy to kids' everyday lives can help them feel less anxious and more secure during this uncertain time.
Just like Stephanie said, the younger kids are getting distracted.
Yeah.
How to keep them, focused.
Yeah.
They have to have, now they're not getting a breakfast at the school.
That's right.
They're getting breakfast at home. They have to be on time with the learning too and the structure. It's difficult, when you have a 5-year-old that is, running, there's no recess now.
That's right.
So where are these kids going to burn off that extra energy?
That's right. That's
You
right.
know, I know as a kid, I was looking forward to recess. That's
Exactly.
when you played
That's
and
right.
you did certain things. Now you can't, you don't have that.
That's
and
right.
now with the winter and the cold weather coming, what's going to happen?
What's going to happen? That's right.
What's gonna happen?
Listen, if you're just tuning in to Alvin After Dark, we're talking about the challenges that teachers are having, parents are having, is also kids are having with the new norm of way of learning and how to structure, how to get in that routine back again, and what's the new norm as far as education is concerned, and these challenges both from teachers, parents, and students.
Right.
What's number
Definitely.
3?
Well, number 4. We're on number 4.
3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was on number 4. Okay. Number 3, establish consistent school schedule. Just as school typically operates on a daily schedule, so should your children. If your kid is older, you should have them set their own schedule and share it with you. I think that's important as well. But we were talking about the older kids and what the educator said, that she has more success with the older kids,
That's right.
because they want an education. I think the issues are with the younger. The issues going to be with the younger kids, and as the temperature changes, you have families that don't have heat.
That's right.
So how are those kids going to function in that environment with no heat?
That's right.
You have families that are on a budget as far as, meals.
Yeah.
Some parents send kids to school because they know they're going to get breakfast and lunch.
That's right.
Now I got to worry about breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's right.
I think those are going to be some challenges that are headed our way as well.
That's right. That's right. Number 4. Number 4 says, designate a school zone. With most of the family being at home now, privacy and space may be hard to come by. Give such challenges. Just as schools are having to be innovative, so are parents. Designate a space in your home where your child can do schoolwork, uninterrupted and free from distractions like the TV. Which we spoke about earlier.
Right.
That you just said.
The TV. I think the TV is a big distraction.
Yeah.
Even if you're watching the news, just to want to watch the news, and the kid is sitting there, your kid is sitting there, the child is there, they're going to keep looking at the news or seeing the commercials and stuff like that.
That's right. Listen,
Tokyo Butler, we see you. We see you, brother.
If you're just tuning in, you're live with Alvin After Dark, and what we're discussing this evening is the challenges that parents, teachers, and kids are facing during the new norm. And if you have a comment and you want to share, I'm going to give my cell phone number.
Don't do that.
516-945-9099.
Give us a call. We want to know what you think about it. And teachers, give us a call. Maybe you could send out some tips and pointers that work for you. So we could, we got a lot of parents on right now. Number 5, encourage your child to take lots of breaks. Make sure your kid is staying active and intermittently breaking away from studies throughout the day.
So yes, you can have recess at home.
Right. That could involve shooting hoops, riding a bike, going for a walk. It's not healthy to stay stuck in front of the computer all day. That goes for adults who are working remotely too. So I guess if on your lunch break, maybe, the parent could take a walk with the kid.
That's right.
Or do something. Do something with the kid, with the child, or just take a break up from the kid's study.
That's right. Stephanie just said there was an issue where they found children near a fast food restaurant to be able to use their Wi-Fi. It's a big issue. Also, Stacy Rosa says, my kids are in high school, and the TV and the phones are taken away from them while they're doing schoolwork. I think that's important too.
That's right.
You as a parent.
Thank you for your comments.
Thanks for your comments. You as a parent need to show some discipline and structure in your home, and I think that our generation had that, and I think this generation, because it's a generation of privilege. It's all about them doing what they want to do and able
Well, I
to
think
get
it's
away
cultural.
with it. It's also cultural,
because
you're right.
Asian children are focused. And their parents are focused them because education is very important in the Asian community.
That's right.
As well as the Indian community
Big.
as well.
Big.
Education is very important. So phones, like Stacy Rosa says, you take away those phones, TV, no video games, none of that.
That's right.
Not while you're in school, no.
It's crazy because when my niece comes over, the house, we just had celebrated my sister's 45th birthday, and everyone's at the house. My mom, my sister flew in from Texas. The first thing she walked in the house with is her tablet and her headphones, and my mom is like, "Listen, you don't want to talk to grandma." She's just
right.
My brother's like, "Nah, take that off. You only get a couple hours during the day with these mobile devices."
Right.
And we spoke about that before. These, we forget that these children, our children or your children, they have minds and they're sponges and they absorb things quickly, rapidly, and they take in things at an enormous rate than you possibly can imagine. And if you're not monitoring or disciplining how they use these mobile devices,
Right.
you're going to lose them
You're going to lose them, right? You're going to lose them
to the mobile device.
to the mobile device. And
know?
but the mobile device has also been the babysitter.
That's right. That's right.
You know,
That's
You
right.
give the kid, the mobile device, and the kid is just there. Now you want to take that away from the kid. It's
right.
like taking a lollipop.
That's right.
So that causes an issue as well.
That's right. What number we on?
Number 6.
Oh, I forgot whatever we was on. Number 6. This is a long one. Okay. Facilitate social connections, which I just said.
Right.
Facilitate social connections. During the school day, your child had opportunities to interact and hang out with friends. Social connections are a vital part of childhood and adolescent development. Kids may feel isolated from their friends at a time when they need them the most. Make sure that you encourage your kids to stay connected, even if it's a virtual connection, such as via FaceTime or Skype. No, it's not the same as interfacing with friends in person, but for now, it's the best we can do. You can help younger kids connect with their friends using technology by, for example, setting up a video chat and having kids bake something together, practice funny dance moves with one another, or have a virtual picnic lunch. Older kids and teens can have online study sessions or do a virtual group lunch. It's not bad.
It's not bad. I think that's a good idea.
It's actually a pretty good idea.
A pretty good idea.
And I
And I think that's what they're doing now. I think the older kids are doing that.
Yes.
But the younger kids is a little bit more difficult.
yes, it is.
You know,
It's a little more.
like Stephanie said, she has a 5-year-old granddaughter. So she doesn't know her granddaughter's friends.
Gotcha.
So how she's going to do, a virtual meeting.
That's true, that's
true. The granddaughter sees her friends on through the internet.
That's right. Like I said, we know that this is the new norm. It is definitely challenging, but there's ways to get around it, and it's going to show going forward what we can and can't do.
Right.
Also, before we go on, let's talk about the parents.
Well, that comes with the number 7.
Okay.
It says communicate with school personnel. Parent and teacher communication is already essential with online schooling. It is more important. So parents need to reach out to the teachers to find out how the kid is doing or what techniques can they use so the kid can stay focused, and teachers need to, reach out to parents whose kids are not focused.
That's right.
And, maybe give them those tools or those, those tricks of the trade to keep those kids focused, just like the educator, had called in.
And earlier also I had a friend who's a teacher. She said, with the parents cursing in the background and yelling or doing things they shouldn't be doing, like someone said, listen, someone's parents was half. We showed you a picture of a parent
Was half
who
naked.
Was half naked. Like we read earlier, set up a designated area where it's
Safety
free from
zone,
clutter.
yeah.
It's a safety zone. And these are things that we don't think about. We think it's okay because it's in our home, in your home. You're like, well, this is my house. I don't have to.
Right, I don't have to do that.
I don't have to do that. But in reality, you do. It's still maintaining some sort of professional, safe, and educational environment, not only for your child, but for yourself.
Right, but then what about those parents who are not well-to-do or, are poor, and they might be ashamed that now, everybody's looking at,
That's right.
That crack in the wall or that leaky ceiling,
Understand.
especially in public housing. You know how that is.
That's right.
Which a lot of kids are, in public housing, and, public housing don't have the best space
No, it doesn't.
for these kids.
But you know what? I think also it takes just you can put up a white sheet, you can put up a towel, you can put up a designated area because you really don't need too much when
No, you don't need too much. You don't need too much.
So I think it's ways that we can all be very innovative, and sometimes I understand I don't have kids, but I know that we as human beings have egos, and we don't want to ask for that help. But don't be ashamed to ask for help from your friends. Hey, listen, you know what? I got to do X, Y, and Z, or I need to put a sheet up in front of this wall by the cabinet or the closet because my son or daughter needs to have a good a nice clean environment, and it makes a big difference, believe it or not. It really does.
Yeah,
It
does.
Where we at, number 8?
Number 8.
Number 8. So number 8 says advocate for your child's needs. If your child has identified needs via an individualized education plan or a 504 plan, I don't know what 504 is.
Somebody could educate us on that one.
You have the right to make sure those needs are being met. If the plan is up for an annual review, you can contact your child's case manager to see how and when the meeting or review will be conducted. Many schools are opting to do virtual meetings using platforms such as Zoom, Google Meet, so they can be an option for their families. I don't know what 504 is. I was actually going to Google it, but that's okay. I don't know what 504 is. Is it like a 401k?
No,
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
nothing near that.
Definitely. So once again, if you're just tuning in, if you're just tuning in to Alvin After Dark, we're talking about the challenges that teachers, parents, and children face during the new norm of the virtual COVID-19, the new norm. And it's mostly, once again, it's the younger kids. It's not the kids in high school. It's mostly the younger kids. Also, once again, we just talked about parents being much more involved. Just because you're home, you still need to be involved.
They should be now. Now they're home.
Exactly.
The parents are home, so they should be involved. That comes to number 9.
Number 9.
Develop a social support system. Reach out to your PTA representatives or the class parent and come in with creative ways that you, as a parent, can stay in the loop with what's happening with virtual education in your child's school. So the parent has to be active.
That's right.
You know, the educator who called, the young lady who called, the educator, she said that it's the immigrant parents that are more involved in the kids' school than the parents that are born here.
Because the understanding of education.
That's right.
The understanding of education. And I think that, because they don't have, remember, in most countries, education is not free.
Right. You say in Belize.
In Belize, high school is not free.
Right.
As Oscar helps me sponsor a child back home in Belize. I did my second student. I'll be on my third student. And what I've done is, with my close friends and my fraternity brothers, I sponsor. We first sponsored a young man, then a young lady,
girl,
and then
right.
now we're going to sponsor another young man. Well, COVID kind of messed things up for us, but they help assist pay for the entire high school education. It's $800 American dollars, $1,600 Belize dollars. So what I normally do is I'll have a brunch at home where everyone contributes about 30 or $40. I do it up, but and the extra money goes to that child's uniform or
school
books and things
pens,
like that.
pencils.
So in other countries, like I said, in my home country of Belize, education is not free.
Not free.
So we speak about how education, and once again, we're not talking about higher education, but just regular, grade school and high school education, and those things that we take here for granted. And while we're able to talk about education, this is a perfect opportunity also for students and teachers, but not only students and teachers, but parents and their kids to really connect on a different level on the education-wise. It's an opportunity for you to see what your children are actually learning and what they're not learning. We spoke about the social skills and what social skills they still need to have, because a lot of these kids are really socially awkward right now because they spend so much time on these mobile devices. Looking at what 504 means.
Right. Stephanie asked, what is a 504? And I just Googled it. It is a Rehabilitation Act of 1973. It's an American legislation that guarantees certain rights to people with disabilities. It is one of the U.S. federal civil rights laws offering protection with people with disabilities. So I believe the 504 Act covers kids with mental disabilities or physical disabilities or, shortcomings maybe educational-wise. So I guess that's what the 504 is, that law is representing.
Designated that, right?
Yeah.
What number are we on?
We are on number 10.
Oh, we're at number 10. Here we go. Last but not least. Okay. Exercise patience. We are living in an unprecedented time, and virtual education is not the status quo. For traditional K through 12 educational institutions or most teachers, be patient with teachers and staff at your child's school. They too are adjusting to the new norm.
Right. But I wonder well, so kids with learning disabilities, how is the school or the system
Helping?
helping them?
That's a good question.
Remember they used to call those classes special ed.
Special ed?
When I was growing up, they called them special ed classes.
Those
they're
are
learning.
bad kids.
No, they weren't bad kids.
I'm just joking.
They weren't
I'm
bad
just
kids.
joking.
They were bad
I'm
kids.
just- I'm
They
just
were
playing.
kids.
I'm just
they were
playing.
kids who had maybe a learning disability, or sometimes they couldn't stay still.
That's right.
Or I know back in the days that's what they did. But what about those children? Now those children are home.
That's right.
So are they getting the same treatment as the other kids as far as the learning virtually?
Well, hopefully their parents are doing the things they need to do. Hopefully their parents are doing that. And yeah, good point. Good question. Are they? Here's what.
Give us some light. Give us a call. Somebody give us a call.
Here's what I think. I was not in special education, but I was hyperactive growing up. I had so much energy. And I would go to the resource room.
That was time out for you.
That was time out for Alvin, right? But I would go to the resource room. But the teachers saw that I wasn't bad. They saw that I wasn't bad, but they saw that I just needed more attention, right? So I got the attention, and that attention led me to join the Glee Club and do theater. So they focus all my energy into a positive way of doing different things in school, such as, so it was cool doing the
Glee
theater
Club,
and the Glee Club and being in the chorus. So that's what we have to do. And one of the things too, for my personal opinion, I'm not in the education field, but parents and teachers, get away from calling children bad, right? Because then they grow up thinking that they're
Bad kids, right.
Bad kids. Children have a lot of energy. Every kid is not going to take in the information as you give it to them.
Right.
So you need to be able to know how to talk with a child. Remember, they're little people, but they're very smart.
And the food that these kids are taking in.
That's right, the food.
A lot of sugary drinks.
That's right.
In school, they had recess where they could burn some of that energy.
That's right.
Now that they're at the home, where they're going to burn that energy.
Exactly. So so those are things you got to be mindful of. But the key thing is that the takeaway is don't call kids bad. Don't say little so and so is bad or my daughter's bad. No, your children aren't bad. Your children may be mischievous, but they're kids. And I think we forget that children are just little people being kids. They're mischievous, and it's our job as their parents, educators, and the people in those fields to help these kids. You're molding them into the people, into the teenagers and adults that they need to be, going forward. So it's very, very important. Hey, if you're just tuning in, hey, Tim, what's going on? If you're just tuning in, you're watching Alvin After Dark, and we're discussing the challenges that teachers face during the new norm of COVID-19.
COVID-19.
The things that parents should be doing, the things that teachers should be doing. And, like I said, we had an educator call in. One texted us and said, listen, these are some of the things that kids are doing. These are some of the things that teachers are doing. These are some of the things that parents are doing. So it's very, very important that we take heed to these statements and these comments and things like that. But once again, if you're not just tuned in, if you're just first time tuning in Alvin After Dark, we're live every single Tuesday at 9 p.m. We discuss entertainment, fashion, health, relationships, and trending topics. So make sure you stay tuned in. And we also market entrepreneurs. Oscar's entrepreneur. What do you have for us this time?
Well, right now, due to COVID, things slowed down, but I do my own fashion line.
That's
I have
right.
my own fashion line. Earthskin 357, and we also got a line called Hustle.
That's right.
We're coming out with more merchandise little by little. Hopefully, we can get back on track with some distributors, so we can bring you some and show it on the next show.
Yes, and we're also looking to do. Hopefully, we'll do a raffle where
we're gonna raffle.
We can raffle off a pair of
Jordans,
Yeezys,
or whatever's hot. We're gonna raffle a pair. To those who want to participate in the raffle, you will be able to partake in the raffle and win a pair of the hottest sneakers that are out.
Hottest sneakers. We haven't figured it out, so next few weeks we're gonna figure it out. More than likely, Oscar will be hanging out with us more on the show, just because the other co-hosts do time management, and it's great to sit here with somebody and be able to discuss things back and forth. Also, I know some people said they wanted to come on the show and talk, discuss some things. People are always welcome to come on the show. If you have something you want to talk about, inbox me. We'll go over it together.
Right.
We'll discuss it.
Entrepreneurs.
That's right.
You're starting your own business.
That's
or
right.
You do have a business. How did you start? I think business is one thing that our community lacks.
That's right.
Of learning.
That's right.
Or even financial management.
That's right.
If you are a financial manager, come by, help us.
I'm actually, hopefully soon, I spoke to someone who I went to high school with, who she is a yogi. She actually went to India
To learn yoga.
and she's been a yogi for like 3 to 4 years. I'm not gonna say who it is, because we're still talking about it. But we're gonna come. We got the stage here. We got the stage over here. We're gonna come set it up, do some stretching and breathing. Because right now, at this point in time, they said one of the things right now is having a clear mental and spiritual health. We spoke about before. Being, mentally and spiritually minded and grounded is very, very, very important. Now, we got a few minutes left on the show. If you want to call in, 516-945-9099, give us a call. We had someone calling early. She's an educator. Thanks for calling in. We thank you for your comments. Tina Brown says, "Where are you?" I'm right here.
Straw Island.
Oh, where? I'm sorry. I'm just joking, Tina. We are at the studios in Strong Island, which is Long Island.
Right.
If you want to call in, 516-945-9099. Like I said, we're discussing entertainment, fashion, health, relationships. Hey, what's going on? If you just joined on Instagram, if you just joined on Facebook, we discuss trending topics, entertainment, fashion, health, relationships. To the ladies that always inbox me, I will not be talking about relationship every single week. I know that. People, I get these craziest messages. Not that I don't want to talk about it, but once again, we also want to talk about things that are have good topics, such as we spoke about men's mental health, because it's something that men just don't talk about. We're going to talk about once again during COVID-19. We want to talk about the challenges that people face. You said location. Oh, the location is in Massapequa.
Massapequa, Long
Island. So if you want to come on out to Massapequa, Long Island, hit me up in the inbox. We can chop it up. Tina, hit me up and we can talk later on and discuss what you want to promote. And be more than listen. Once again, it is a platform to market entrepreneurs. I'm sorry, Tina, when she said, "Where are you?" I didn't realize what she was asking me. So if you're an entrepreneur, you want to market yourself, we're here on Strong Island, Long Island, Massapequa, New York, and Long Island. So I'll be more than happy to chop it up with you. We can discuss what you want to talk about. Create your, once again, set it up. You want to, once again, you market whatever you want to market, anywhere from fashion. A lot of fashion people, with hats and T-shirts. But if you have someone who wrote a book, want to promote their book, want to do their makeup line. So I got a couple of makeup artists who want to come out as well. Fitness people want to come out. Yoga people want to come out. I got somebody who has a dance studio who just opened up right before COVID-19. They had to close because of COVID-19. Her dance studio is in East Harlem, which is Jasmine Vasquez. Big shout out to her. She's probably not going to see this, but I'm letting her know I shouted her out. But she has a dance studio in 100 people have a dance studio. Once again, like I said, we got 10 minutes left, so if you want to call, give us a call.
Give us a call, yeah.
But that's really it. We had a very educational show this evening, and that's what I want to bring you. Oh, we're also going to do, before I forget, because I always forget things. I got to write more things down. We definitely want to do, we call it Alvin 16.
We're going to do, Alvin wants to put together some of the hottest rappers. Wherever you want to come in, do a hot 16. We contact Alvin so we can put you on the show, and we got a call.
All right, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Come in, do a hot 16.
Yes, sir.
Contact Alvin.
Hey, turn on your TV or your phone or your.
Let me put my, Tina Brown, I'm calling from the Bronx. Let me mute you guys so that you're not getting feedback.
Hey, Tina.
How you doing, Tina?
Yeah, I'm going to do that now. Hi, how are you?
Doing pretty good.
Okay, good. So I love this topic that you're talking about a lot. My son is 21, so at the end of the day, I'm a little beyond the school age child.
Okay.
However, I did want to just give my 2 cents on the topic. Being someone that has a little bit of life experience with a son who was diagnosed with ADHD when he was in first grade.
Okay.
Okay.
And, what I wanted to tell a lot of people is that in the black community is that when your child is being diagnosed with learning disabilities or, ADHD, and I understand that there's this big whole thing where they're saying, like, kids are just active, it's their diet, it's this, that, and the other. Yeah, there are a lot of reasons why kids do get diagnosed with these situations, but there is also a stigma. And I can tell you that when my son was in first grade, I didn't care about the stigma, and I made sure that the school system provided him with the services that a lot of parents don't realize that children are allowed to have, which is, occupational therapy, additional speech therapy, and all these other programs that are available that parents don't know about. And also because of the stigma, and they don't want their children to be considered different or what have you, they will not reach out to the educational system when you're in the public system, right? Because, we're not talking about a private system, because if you have a lot of money, you'll just go and get these services privately and pay a lot of money for it. But we're talking about federally funded school systems that are in place so that parents can get extra help for their children, whether it be, my son had a teacher's aide, he had tutors, he had speech therapy. And, as he went through the school system and I seen how he progressed and how it helped him, I just want us in the black community to acknowledge that sometimes your children do need extra help when they're, in their tender years, and the earlier you start to spot them missing certain milestones, and the earlier you start to get other people involved in helping them, the better off they'll be. Pretending that your child, is not progressing in a certain area because you don't want to deal with the stigma of that actually hurts us. And, that's just kind of really all I wanted to, bring to the forefront was, don't let those type of things stop you from making sure that you get your children the best help and everything they can get and what they're afforded. We do pay taxes, so it's not free services, right? You work,
Right,
I work,
right.
everyone works. We've all contributed to, a system that is built to provide services for your children. So if your children need it, you have to go out and what you do is you contact your guidance office, you ask for a parent advocate, and you request for your child to be evaluated. Once your child is evaluated, you can then request for additional services that you may feel your child needs, and these services span, it's not advertised the amount of services that are allotted to children in the public school system, right?
Right.
But they do exist. And when we don't know about it, we don't know to go ask for it. So we have to know that if your child is falling behind, we don't want to label them as bad. We don't want to label them as just automatically having learning disabilities. We want to make sure we know what's going on with our children and that we give them the services needed to help them to progress and to, be just as successful as the other students in the school. So
Yes.
that's kind of
Yes.
what I want
Yes,
to
absolutely.
Absolutely.
jump in and say. Yeah.
I think she reiterated that 504 plan.
That's right, she did.
Right,
She definitely
yeah.
did. She definitely did. Thank you for calling, Tina. Definitely appreciate you all the way from the Bronx.
Yes.
Well,
From
hey,
the Bronx. I mean, the Bronx is tough.
That's right.
My son went to school in Suffolk County. He was in Huntington. It was, it's one of the best school districts. And, I see how they are a little bit more involved in making sure that the students there succeed. And I think that, we're here in the Bronx. We're not aware of these things. And like I said,
we're
this
not.
stigma that we have amongst black people to not seek mental health and to not, make sure that your children are reaching certain milestones because, you don't want your children to be considered different, hinders us. And it prevents us from being successful and being the best that we can be. My son now has a vocabulary that we didn't even think he would have, going into first grade. So, and I've seen a success story with him, and I just wanted to make sure that all parents know that, the earlier you do, the early intervention is what's most important. 3 years old, that's where you start making sure you pay attention. Talk to your pediatrician. Make sure your children are reaching certain milestones. And if they aren't, reach out for services. They're available, and they're there for you. Whether you're in a career and you're making a lot of money or whether you are in a career and you're making, a small wage, you're still paying taxes.
That's right.
So
That's right.
you are entitled to those services. And, if you feel that a school system that you are in, Huntington's a little different. If you're in the Bronx and you feel that you're advocating for certain services that you want your child to have in the Bronx and you're not getting them, you can go to the Department of Education and request what's called a parent advocate, and they will go out and they will seek these services for your children. So that's all I wanted to add.
Well, thank you.
Thank you,
I'm happy
Tina.
about the topic. My son is way beyond that, but just for the, the younger parents and, that have younger kids in the school system now, that's it.
So thank you for calling. Thank you for the information. And I think it's also
Okay.
important that people do not take no for an answer. And I got a quick story about myself, and it's just crazy. I never really shared this before. It's not funny, but it's funny to me now as an adult as I think about it. Years ago, once again, we had to go to the resource room. I was diagnosed with ADD as well.
Okay.
Attention deficit disorder. And it's not funny, but it's funny now as I think about it. So in second grade, I told the teacher I was going to kill myself. My mother came to school, my father came to school, and my mother broke down and cried. I'm laughing because what went behind the I'm going to kill yourself story. So everybody in school got sent home.
Whoa.
The entire school got sent home. My sister Claire didn't know that I told the teacher I was going to kill myself. So they were like, what's going on? What happened? My sister said, some stupid kids said they're going to kill themselves. It was me. It was me. And, so I'm laughing because there's on the flip side to the story. I had to go see a child psychologist. Her name is Sister Irene. I don't know why I remember her name, but her name is still there. It was on Tilden Avenue off of Gun Hill Road in the Bronx. I went there, and at one point, I'm playing with all the toys, and we're discussing, why am I going to kill myself? My response, I don't get enough attention at home. That was the last time that I saw Sister Irene. Oh, let me tell you, I got all the attention my ass deserved.
And you still good.
I got beat for everything. No, I didn't get beat. I didn't get beat for everything. But what I'm saying is, being in the Caribbean household, I got all the attention that I needed.
I understand.
And look how I turned out. Look,
Your own show.
I got my own show.
Fine, Alvin. He turned out just fine.
Well, thanks for calling, Tina. I appreciate you.
No, but I'm happy that you shared that story because I think that, like I said, there's a stigmatism and people don't want to share, these type of challenges that are more common than you know. People are dealing with a lot, especially during this COVID time. There are a lot of people out there that are dealing with anxiety and depression.
That's right.
And, we label things like mental illness and make it sound so horrible when it's really just, you're nervous.
You're being
about
you're being human.
Going to be. You're nervous about everything that's happening. It has nothing to do with, you having a mental illness, but you're dealing with a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And, putting all these labels on it and making it sound like it's a horrible thing or it's a bad thing prevents us from moving forward, and that goes for children as well. And I forgot who it was that was saying something about, don't call children bad. And
That's right.
that's what they were doing to my son.
Yeah.
They wanted to say, oh, he's just a bad kid and, this, that, and the other. And he's not a bad kid,
That's
and
good.
like you said, he just needs a little bit more attention. And,
That's good.
and I'm going to make sure that he gets that.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right.
That's what has to happen sometimes. But, good show, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling, Tina.
Well, listen.
right.
There you have it. Once again, we're here live every single Tuesday night, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Once again, Alvin After Dark. I want to thank Oscar Ortiz for hanging out with us. Where can they
Appreciate
find you again?
Herbskin357 on Instagram.
And what's your words going out for the night?
Words going out for tonight.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. We as people got to vote. We definitely got to vote.
Yes.
New election coming up, and hopefully everybody votes and stay safe, stay blessed.
That's right. Also, one thing, thank you for tuning in. Also, every single Tuesday night, we're here discussing entertainment, fashion, health, and relationship. Shows brought to you by Auto Lease Direct NY, 4219 Merrick Road in Massapequa, New York, and BMW Freeport. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, the good Lord don't put you to nothing you can't handle. It's all how you handle it. We're going to see you next week with Kimberly Santana. Thanks for tuning in.
Bless.